survive, and there's nothing leading nowhere. Might survive, feeling strong for how much longer I'll survive.
Hi listeners, this is Maloree Johnson and Will Wyant from Closing Time on WXAV 88.3 FM Chicago. I'm here with Lacuna Coil. Lacuna Coil is currently on tour with Seven Dust, Cold Chamber, and Candlelight Red. They also just released a new album called Dark Adrenaline. How are you doing?
We're good. We're touring, so we are playing every night, meeting a lot of people. We still have a few more weeks of this tour. The first part was just with Seven Dust, and then we've done all the what they call the radio markets in smaller towns, and then we've been to South America for a couple of weeks as headliners, and then back here, and Cold Chamber joined the tour, and we're playing bigger cities. I mean, not really today, but in general, we play bigger cities.
So, first things first, how and where did the band form, and what is the origin of your band?
We formed in Milan, in Italy, which is our hometown, and we just started the band for fun, because me and Marco, the bass player, we were skateboarders. So when we couldn't go out skating because of the weather, we were staying home and playing music, playing cover songs, and just as we always had passion for music, listening to all kind of alternative music, like hardcore punks as well as hip hop and metal. So we grew up listening to all this kind of stuff. Then we got more serious towards mid 90s. We started to get searching for other people to play with, and between the friends, and the metal bar, and we were more developing a sound that was going more towards what was called doom gothic metal at the time, and bands like Paradise Lost and Type O Negative were the biggest influence. So we wanted to play something close to that with all of our influences, and that's how we started. Then we just did a demo tape. We got Christina as a co-singer. We knew her, we knew she could sing, so we asked her to join and try some female background vocals in the beginning, because it was something that we never heard before, it was something weird for that kind of metal. So we really love what she did, so we asked her to be a permanent, proper singer in the band. And then from there we just did a demo, sign a deal, and start touring, start recording albums.
That kind of touches on what I was going to ask you next. I was actually going to say, what would you consider your band's genre? Because I know I've seen a lot of different genres associated with your band, and who were some of the big influences on you?
Yeah, the biggest influences when we started was Paradise Lost and Type O Negative for sure, but then we always listened to a lot of other bands as well. We've always been pretty open, and we love bands like Fate No More, or even the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the beginning, Metallica, Slayer, all kind of rock metal music in general, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam. So we've never been closed-minded towards music. We always like to listen to all kind of music, so we never. That's why probably even today you can't really put us in one category. It's very hard to describe our music, which is a plus, but also sometimes a cons, because it's not easy to market us. Just like, they sound like Evanescence, for example, and it's, we've been doing this even before they were a band, and then we developed our own personal style with the two voices, with the melodics, but also heavy music, atmospherical, sometimes dark and gothic, but not always. So you can say gothic metal in the very open way, but also alternative metal would fit. So it's really hard to just use one category.
But I feel like that's what makes your music so unique, is that you guys aren't just one type of genre. You're a collective. You're collective. So I actually enjoy that, and I wish there was more bands like that. How would you help other people? There's other bands that want to be like you. What advice would you give them, especially in a music industry that is as tough as it is with the Lady Gagas and the Katy Perrys and all those type of bands?
It's hard because rock and metal, especially, they always up and down. There are moments where they go up and then they kind of disappear, but they always exist. It's a kind of music where there is always a loyal fan base of people that will always listen to this kind of music. But as you say, the market has been changing so much that the way we got our contract and the way we built our name doesn't exist anymore, basically. Because when we did it, we sent a tape to the label, and we got signed just by sending a tape. And that's not the way anymore, because today there's internet, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, Instagram. So there are many other ways to get in touch with people and with labels. But on the other hand, it's easy for everybody, so everybody can get in touch, but that nobody really stands out so easily, because the label receive every day like hundreds of MP3s, or because it's so easy, or YouTube videos, links and stuff. It's so easy to do it now that there are too many people doing it, and not all these bands have something really important to say, because to get to the point where your bands means something, you also need to experiment and to find your way, to do 1 record, 2 records, 3 records, and learn how to develop your style, and working with producer. You become a professional by working. You're not, when you're a kid, you just have all the enthusiasm, and you might have some talent, but it's not driven because you don't have the experience, just like in anything else in life, So it's way easier to get out there, but it's also way more difficult to survive, because if today your video is the best YouTube, the most clicked YouTube video, tomorrow there'll be another one, and people just forget. Many of the new generations, they just discover the music towards YouTube, and they don't even download anymore. They just stream the music. It's not anymore even a matter of downloading. It's just a matter of the way you let the music circulate. So there are new ways for sure, but it's really, I don't see it so easy. It seems much easier to get out there, but it's not for me, because when a label decided to invest money on a band like us in the past, they really need to make the band grow up and step up to then get their money back. Nowadays they don't need to invest that much money, because there are other ways to record and which are easier. But on the other hand, it's way more difficult. If they don't work right away, they will probably not have another chance.
Yeah. Well, Dark Adrenaline debuted at number 15 on the Billboard 200. What do you think makes this album so successful, and how do you think this is different from your previous albums?
I mean, the successful is because we have established a fan base that is gonna go out there and buy the record the first day that it will come out. So that's why the last 2 records, they have both been very high in the charts in Billboard in America, because we have a certain standard that our fans are gonna like, and they go out there and support the record. Then to make it very successful, you need also to keep selling the amount of record you've been selling before, and that's more difficult. That comes towards the touring and the people talking about it and loving the record. I think the record has been successful because it is both the new Lacuna Coil in 2012 when it was released, but it's also a lot of the older vibes from previous albums that are all captured together in the record. So there is a good balance between the history and the traditional sound of the band, but also a new direction, new production, a fresher production that makes it interesting for new generation of fans, or for people that just follow the band and like the fact that we kind of change a little bit every time. We don't like to repeat exactly the same record. So if you buy Coma Lies or Karma Code or Shallow Life or the last one, you can recognize the style of the band for sure.
I must know, what's your favorite city and venue to perform at?
There's not one. I can
one?
say just one. I mean, there are many places, both in America or in South America, or it's more about the concert itself than the city, I think. Of course you like some cities, but maybe for holiday, for go there like 3-4 days, but not just to stay one night. So for sure we had a great time in some of the festival we did here in America. For example, last year we did the Rock on the Range in Ohio.
Oh yeah, in Ohio.
That was pretty wild, and a lot of crowd surfing, and the police had to came and help the security. So it was pretty intense, and a lot of people.
Do you guys dive into the stage or dive into the crowd?
No, they was enough from the crowd already. It was crazy, and that was one great show that we will always remember. As well as, for example, like 3-4 weeks ago, we were in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, and the people there sing so loud that we couldn't hear ourselves from the very first word, of the song to the last song of the show. So it was very unique, we couldn't hear, just people was singing. There was no need for us to sing, actually, and that's also something very intense, that you will remember. But it's about the concert itself, not the city, really.
So what would be your favorite song, would you say, to perform live? Is that a hard question? That's probably a hard question, too.
Yeah, because usually
them all.
usually the newest songs are the most fun to play
Yeah.
because you haven't played them for a million times, so you're not kind of bored of playing it. Even if when you have people singing the words and being so much into the song, even a song that you already played a lot, like for example Heaven's a Lie, we've done it like a lot of time, and it's still cool to do it because the people give back a lot of energy that gives a new face to the song in a way, you know. While usually the new ones are the funniest to play because you haven't been played them so much and you are more fresh. Your ear is more fresh.
Yeah.
Are there any bands that you haven't toured with before that you'd like to tour with?
Sure, I mean there are many bands. For example, we never toured with Metallica. It'd be cool to
That
do
would
it.
be fun.
Yeah, and or Rammstein, for example, is another big band that we really like. Because those bands are big bands because we don't not only like them, but they are also giving us a good exposure. So it'd be cool to tour with those guys, not only because we love the music, but also because it could be a great chance for the band, you know. Then we always had a great time with all bands, even smaller or bigger bands. We always had good experience. We always learned something by touring with them, you know.
What would you say would be some of your favorite bands? And do you go to concerts? Do you guys go to a lot of concerts and watch other bands perform?
I go when I'm home. I go to see other bands and say hi or to
Yeah.
check them out. But when we're on tour, we don't usually go to another concert because you play
it's
every
too
night and go again to another show, even in your free night. You really don't want to do that, you know. Not because you don't like the band, you know, but just because you want to take a break from your routine that it's every day being in a venue and loud music. And so when you're on tour, no. But maybe when we're home, if there is something that it's a unique chance, we go. Like me and Christina, we went to see Kiss in Cleveland during one tour because our friends in Buckcherry, they were opening for them, so they put us on the list. And Kiss, you know, I never seen Kiss before, so it's a big chance to see them. So we went. Or once we went to see the Police on the reunion tour they did. We had tickets for the dress rehearsal show in, I think it was in Canada, and it was just a unique, you know, once in a lifetime chance. So that of course we go, you know.
Now, do you have any future plans or upcoming releases or tours?
Yeah, I mean we after the tour we go home in early May, like beginning of May, and we will.
There's a tree of darkness.